roads diverges in the yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Life doesn't give us a map, it gives you moment. Moment where we stand before two roads. One looks familiar, expected, smooth, and another that's uncertain, winding, and almost invisible. Most of the people choose the first, but I didn't, and that has made all the difference. How many of you found me using my left hand dominantly? Did you ever ask yourself, why do Danushka uses the wrong hand? This question is the reason why I'm in front of you. Growing up, I always felt like I had taken the road that no one spoke about. I didn't rebel, nor I didn't want to stand out. I simply did. I was left-handed in this right-handed world. From scissors to the school benches, everything around me assumed I was someone else. Even languages took side. Right meant correct, left meant different, awkward, and wrong. That's when I first felt it. Not just being left handed, but being left out. I held a pencil. I opened the door. I cut a paper. And every single time, the world reminded me that I was doing the other way. I wasn't wrong. I was just built different in the world that didn't know how to handle it. That's when I realized it's not just about the hand I used, it was about the space I was denied. And when the world isn't built for you, you have two options: to change yourself to fit it or change the way you walk through. I choose the second. I begin to look at life not with resentment but with curiosity. I started noticing how thoughts, like hands, are trained, forced, and corrected. And I asked myself, what if the way we are told to think is in the only way? This single question took me off the paved road into the unknown, into the road not taken. It wasn't just about objects, it was about people. Relatives called it a bad sign. Some said I should change as if my hand was a mistake. Others chuckled when they saw my writing slanting awkwardly on the page. When I attend wedding, I often fumble with handshake. A moment of crisp greeting turns into a awkward fumbling as I instinctively reach out my left hand. It's a small misstep, but etiquette experts stress on proper handshake. Firm but not crushing, eye contact held, lasting for 2 to 3 seconds, which conveys confidence and respect. Social norms dictate the usage of right hand to avoid left-hand misfires and cultural foxpass. This fleeting mix-up of raising the wrong hand turns a warm congratulation into a brief, awkward pass, a reminder of how such subtle gestures shapes our social grace. In restaurants, the cutlery arrangement made me nervous, and slowly, all these small things created a big feeling that I didn't belong. I started sinking myself, hiding through discomfort, hiding the parts they call me wrong, until I realized I wasn't broken. I was just being edited to fit into someone else's page. We often think our minds are free, but the truth, most of the people were living someone else's idea of who they should be. We are taught what to believe before we are taught how to think. From a very young age, I was told what kind of girl I should be. Speak gently, dress properly, don't laugh too much. And slowly I realized they weren't just guiding me, they were shaping me. Not into who I am, but into who they wanted me to be. That's when I realized the world doesn't just correct your handwriting, it corrects your dream, it edits your passion, it censors your voice, and slowly you become a version of yourself that even you can't recognize. You smile when you want to scream. You agree when your soul says no. You shrink yourself just to fit into the space that was never built for you. I faced questions which were never asked to anybody else. Why do you hold the pen like that? Why can't you switch your hands? Won't you struggle when you grow up? At a temple ceremony, I reached out my left hand to receive the blessed prasad. I was told gently but firmly by the elders to use the right hand, it's a sacred space. The look of disapproval among the people around me made me immediately self conscious. A stark reminder of that, my natural gestures is seen as improper in that moment. Another time in my abacus class, my teacher noticed me writing with my left hand and scolded me for writing the wrong way, and even tied my hand behind my back to force a switch. It doesn't just discourage, it became a repeated message that left handedness was unacceptable. These moments, amid rituals and classrooms, highlights how everyday spaces become a stage for cultural disapproval, simply because I used a hand which felt most natural to me. Even small things like eating in public became a challenge. My hand would bump into others. Plates weren't arranged for me, but I learned to eat sideways. Lean right, adjust my body just to fit into the space that was never built for me. But they didn't know I wasn't broken. I was just built different. Even neighbors would giggle at me when I turned my notebook sideways. Not out of hate, just ignorance. But ignorance has consequences. Just as left handed people often struggle in the world designed for right handed, right to left languages exist as quite exception dominated by left to right scripts. Interestingly, while right to left scripts are more comfortable for left handers, reduces smudging, increasing visibility, but it's still rare and even discouraged culturally. Both left-handers and right-to-left languages highlights a shared experience. Adapting to the system built for majority and navigating through spaces which were not naturally built for them. And slowly, I started shrinking myself. Until one day, I came home frustrated for being mocked by someone for eating with my left hand. I threw my bag down and said, "Why can't I just like be everyone else?" My mother looked up from the kitchen, calm and firm. "Listen to me," she said, walking over. "Being left handed isn't wrong, it's rare, and rare things are special. Even great peoples like artists, thinkers were left handed. The world might not always understand the difference, but it didn't mean that you want to change yourself. You don't need to fit in, you just need to stand strong." Yes, she was right. Leonardo da Vinci, who painted, sketched, and wrote in mirror scripts. In Mona Lisa and his delicate drawings, shadings and brushstrokes slant from upper left to lower right, an unmistakable signature of left handed technique. It wasn't trendy, it was simply how his mind worked. Like Marie Curie, who changed the world of science and never let the tools designed for right handed hold her back from radioactive discoveries. Like Barack Obama, who signed the history into reality with his left hand. I decided I had enough. I wasn't born to apologize for the hand I was given. I wasn't born to edit myself to make others feel comfortable. That was the moment everything changed. I stopped hiding. I stopped correcting. I stopped trying to be right. I began to speak loudly, clearly, kindly. And though the world didn't always clap, it listened. Because when you walk through your truth, even the roughest direction feels like your home. And now I wasn't just walking, I was leading. And others began to follow me. Not because I was perfect, but because I was real. I once believed I was alone, just a left handed girl in this right handed world. But now I know I wasn't alone anymore. The world may not be built for us, but we have always been building our future. Left handedness wasn't just about hands, it's about heart, about hearing the rhythm of the world and choosing to dance to your own beat. And when you dare to do that, something magical happens. You don't just only take the road not taken, but you have built it. And once I stepped onto the path, I wasn't just walking, I was leading. And people started noticing me, quietly, secretly. And they would say, "I wish I could have your courage. I wish I could speak like you." You say what I have always felt, but didn't know how to express. That moment, when I chose myself, I gave others permission to choose themselves too. Sometimes the people need is not a superhero, but a mirror which reflects the real version of themselves that they have been hiding. Upright, it won't be accepted. Upright, it's not enough. But here's the truth I have lived. The world doesn't need more copies. It needs more courage. And courage isn't loud anymore. It says in trembling voice that this is who I am, and I will not apologize. That moment when you stop performing and start being, that's where the real power begins. Not the power that controls other, but the power that sets you free. I began this journey thinking I was alone, just a left-handed girl in this right-handed world. Just one thought against 1,000. But now I know I wasn't alone anymore. I was just early, and that has made all the difference. Life is never a straight road. It's a series of curves, choices, and confusion. So every now and then, you will find yourself at a crossroad. One looks familiar, expected, smooth, another that's uncertain. And that's the road not taken. If you are brave enough to take the road, you don't just only change your life, but you light the way for others. So the next time when you find yourself at a crossroad, don't ask which road is safe. Don't ask which road is approved. Ask yourself which road is mine. Because the road not taken might be the way that leads you home. And in the silence of the walk, you will hear something more powerful than applause. That's your voice. Sometimes I wonder, what if I had taken the other road that everyone expected? Would I be more accepted, more celebrated, more understood? Maybe, but I would not be me. The truth is, everyone in this room has their own ignored road. Maybe it's your dream that has been buried because they said it's too big. Maybe it's your voice that because they said to keep quiet. Maybe it's a part of you still awaiting patiently to be seen. And today, I want to remind you that the road is still there, awaiting for you. It doesn't care how late you are, it just needs your honesty. You don't need a map, you don't need a permission, you just need one step. Just single step towards who you truly are. And one day, someone will look at you and say, because they have dared to take the road, I'm no longer to walk mine. That's how legacy lives on. Not through monuments, but through footprints that has been left behind brave souls. Like Freda Kahlo, who painted her pain. Like Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who turned rejection into rocket science. Like Oprah Winfrey, who turned silence into global voice. They didn't follow the path. They became the path. Thank you.